Alright, welcome back to another Minecraft update video. This one was I'm thinking it's going to be a bit too long to fit into like an off-schedule update. Probably be about like 20 to 30 minutes, something like that. Right now, as you can see, I got the outer shell of the temple mostly done. I still need to get some kind of like altar or like sacrifice altar or temple up on top that I want to build. And I want to have like a couple statues on the side of the building, maybe like right here and like right here, to designate this as the front, because it's identical on all sides. So just to sort of distinguish it as the front side of it. And I do eventually want to make a path that maybe goes, I'm probably going to reposition my portal to like right here with like a path leading up. And I do want to take a look at some pictures of some like old Aztec structures that aren't pyramids to see if like maybe I could do some like decoration on the sides, like how in Egypt they would have like you could do like obelisks or something for an Egyptian pyramid, or stuff like that. As you can see on the inside, it's still pretty bare. I've been working on another project aside from the inventory system. And over here you can see the shulker unloader. You just pop your shulker boxes in there. It pulls them out and dumps them into the item sorter. If you just have items that you want to throw in, you can do it in there. Or you can just dump them in manually, which is what I usually do. This is just for if I'm really bored one night or if I gotta leave real quick. I'll just dump it in there and like AFK, kind of like in here somewhere. As you can see, it's one of the standard item sorters designed by Impulse SV. It's just large. It's the standard like 41 item in a locker with lockers style. I was actually thinking about doing these 2 wide and using the one where it only needs like 7 items or something like that. Because there are a few things that I haven't bothered getting a lot of, like I don't have a lot of purple or endstone and whatnot. I don't even think I have all that many. Yeah, I don't even have enough shroom lights to fill the filter. And I did add this Soul Sand Speedway just because I kind of got tired of walking all the way over here with a regular movement speed or using my Elytra. Over here it's just redstone stuff, and this will all eventually get filled in, and like I'm going to put items over here. And this is a bulk storage system. It was originally designed by Il Mango, but some modifications have been made to bring it up to date because there was some redstone changes that broke it a while back. And over here we just have the empty shulker boxes, and those get loaded through a hopper line over here, and that wraps all the way around. And then at the bottom, if I pull out all these items, this will get broken, and a new one will get fed from this dispenser. And the empties get put into this hopper line, which then feeds back over to here and feeds back into the original storage system. And up top is where items get loaded in. Right now I'm just climbing up the scaffolding, but eventually I'm going to run this kind of behind a wall here. I might run it in between, run the hopper line in between here, and then do another dropper elevator up there. That way I can unload, I can basically take it from unloading shulkers into the item filter, get that pushed all the way over here, and then up into here, and then up and around. And I still have the exit chest right here, just in case items that I put in aren't in the storage system. And those I eventually want to put that to a dropper elevator going down into another set of chests, probably running um, from here to over there. I might have to do something funky with the corners because of how how these work. They would butt up against each other if I put them like right next to each other. That's why you see a lot of inventory systems like this designed in like a U shape and not like a box that you can climb down in or something like that. It's not just for convenience of access, it's also for the mechanics of the redstone. Over here is just the layout for a freshwater fish tank. I'm going to be doing this sort of like an aquascape. Aquascaping is a thing in the fish keeping hobby where you do a lot of like really aesthetic designs for like your hardscape. So stuff like rocks and driftwood and stuff like that, your hardscaping and stuff. And then like I want to put um, like a sloped ground level, and I want to have like shorter plants in the front and like longer plants in the back. So it would be like kind of bare a little bit up front, and then eventually get a little bit more dense with me cutting down like the double layer seagrass, and then in the back double layer seagrass leading to like kelp in the very back. Um, and that way it just kind of has this like little sloped appearance. But I'm also going to put in like rocks, and I'm going to try and do driftwood. It may or may not turn out right. And this just I'm going to do all that before I bother filling it in with water, because I might have to move this because I'm kind of not happy with how tall it is or how not tall it is. So I may take this and put like that backside over here, and then kind of like the inventory system, have a soul sand strip running on the outside. Um, and over here is where I'm going to do salt water, but I want to finish this one before I start the salt water, because I'm going to have to go and get a whole bunch of like brain coral and coral fans and all sorts of that stuff, like sea lanterns and sea pickles. And I want it to be a really nice looking saltwater. I want it to inspired by like reefs, not like real reefs, but like the in the aquarium hobby, people's reef tanks. And I want to make it look like it's a very large, like 100 to 200 gallon reef tank, even though that would be tiny, but to scale. Um, yeah, I have to get the measurements and whatnot and get the scale correct. And I think that's about it for the Megabase progress. One farm that I forgot to show off. This is just my frogs, where I was breeding them for my frog light farm. But one farmer on the base that I forgot to show off was this one. I never use it, so I really forgot about it. It's just a rail duplicator. You throw rails on top on these slime blocks. You turn it on and duplicates rails, and I'd usually like sit here, and that way anything that gets stuck on top would go into my inventory. And that just feeds into that. Feeds into that chest. I'm probably just gonna duplicate a whole bunch of powered and regular rails and then strip this down. I'm trying to keep the server as lag friendly as possible, so I don't like having a lot of open hoppers like that. Because if you don't throw composters on top of an open hopper, It's constantly searching for items on top, but when there's something that has an inventory in it, like a composter does, it just checks the one slot that the composter has, so it's a lot faster. Yeah. And next up, I want to show you the Froglight farm, which I think I skipped that in the last video. I'm like 99% sure I skipped that. And talk about that one. There we go. I was fortunate in having a basalt delta fairly nearby my base. Ooh, that shouldn't happen. Anyway, I do want to redesign this. It's just something I threw together because I needed a whole bunch of frog lights for the temple. All it is just a kill chamber with an iron golem up there and some frogs. I didn't actually get enough powdered snow when I originally made this, so yeah. Eventually I want to make this probably a little bit bigger. I want to raise it up by 1 block, and which means I'm going to have to tear down everything. And I'm going to expand this because I had originally designed this to be a little bit smaller, but it was having problems fitting these the larger magma blocks inside. They would kind of get stuck. But the problem is that now if it's on this outer block, if it's on the outside of the outer block, the minecart won't pick it up. So eventually I'll redesign all this, but I haven't really needed frog lights. I've got multiple shulkers of every kind of frog light, so I haven't really needed it. But it is my go-to, like, hidden block of choice, like, hidden lighting block of choice. Next up is a farm I've been working on. Well, not really a farm, it's my industrial area. I finally got that project started. There we go. And right now I'm working on the trenches for the perimeter. As you can see, I've done quite a bit. This was all of course done by Flying Machine Bomber. And I didn't really worry about smooth walls. I had originally wanted to do smooth walls, but then I was like, you know what, that's just gonna take days. It's good, probably actually would have taken weeks for me to do that. I just kind of didn't care enough. And yes, I've done 2 of the 4 trenches. Done one of the wide ones, one of the thin ones. And I was finished that last night, so I haven't set up the flying machines for this side. I still gotta scout out, find the highest point of elevation, and then go like 25 blocks above that. A lot of people say 20 blocks, but even at 25 blocks, I was occasionally hitting a point where the TNT would get shot up and blow up one of my flying machines. While doing both trenches, it happened a couple times. And that's just kind of a pain because you gotta go and you gotta fetch the flying machine and tear it all down and rebuild it and then go back and get supplies and all that. So, but I think at 30 it might be a little bit too many passes that I'd have to make. And right now I'm widening these just because the walls that I made, I was dumb and I centered it on where I want the outside of the perimeter to be. So it should be a little bit wider than this, but it shouldn't be this far over to this side. It should be a little bit closer over to like having the center, say like here. But oh well, just me being dumb and not thinking about stuff. And yeah, once that gets done, then it's off to this trench. Then it's time to build the World Eater, and that'll consume all this area, and I'll be able to set up my farms. I do actually kind of want to know if you completely destroy a pillager outpost, if they will still continue to spawn. I don't know if it's a like a tag thing where it tags this area or like tags certain chunks as spawning pillagers, and even destroying it won't change that. So who knows? Because my slime farm that I want to make is pretty close to the center of this. It'll be, of course, at bedrock. But yeah. And next up is the end. Got a few things over there I want to show. Alright, and here we are in my end dimension. As you can see, I got an Enderman farm. I had to light that up because I totally didn't spot those when I was building this, and so Endermen were still able to spawn over here, so I just had to light that up. I didn't feel like just TNT blowing all of them up. Yeah, it's just a standard Enderman farm with a little Endermite and a minecart up there. And this is this is for a sand duper that I have in a second stronghold. And it does look wonky because I'm running on a Spigot server. So for some reason, when I'm running both of them, it almost instantly breaks. And so I only have one, and this one's just kind of here in case something happens, like it gets spit out the wrong way or something. And yeah, this just picks up sand and, or well, gravity blocks really, sand, gravel, powder concrete, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I know some people have an issue with like duping, like sand dupers and the rail dupers and whatnot. To me, it's dumb. There's no difference between an automated farm and a duper. There really isn't. They're the same thing. And over here, let's see, I've got my wither kill chamber. I have it designed kind of wonky with extra obsidian because next time I do a wither, I'm going to throw a bunch of chickens down in here. I'm just going to get like maybe like 6 shulkers of eggs. I'm going to throw them all down here and get the wither to get a bunch of wither roses, because last time I did one, I brought maybe like 2 shulkers of eggs as a test, and I only ended up getting 3 wither roses because it wasn't hitting them, because they were going down here in the outside where this was where these obsidian blocks weren't at the last time. So yeah. As you can see, I've got another beacon set up here. This one is, of course, hello? Okay, there we go. Why'd this get turned off? This is supposed to be on haste too. Server might be a little bit laggy, but yeah, this was... I set this as a haste beacon. I don't know, whatever. And yeah, I was mining some of the obsidian pillars for my frog farm, or not my frog farm, for my future slime farm, because I'm going to be doing it as a portal-based farm, like a 7-layer, 4-chunk portal-based farm that should get me a whole crap ton of slime. Because eventually, I know I have a perimeter, but eventually I want to build a quarry, and that's going to need a lot of slime blocks. Just because I want to run a quarry kind of on the outskirts of the server. You know, find something that's like, you know, 50, 60,000 blocks away from spawn and just run a massive quarry. I don't know if I don't know that I'm going to build one just because of how much work they take in setting up, and I usually do a lot of the infrastructure stuff by myself. And those are usually like, a 10-man job on a technical server between a lot of guys that really know what they're doing. So, yeah. But actually, let me get my rockets. Don't want to run out. And next up is over here. Because I don't have a portal to this side, and I was dumb, and I messed up getting a shulker into a minecart for my shulker farm. Okay. Just checking my elevation. Oop. There we go. That could have been bad. Guess server's lagging. I might have to restart it. And so here's the shulker shell farm, as you can see, because of course with my bulk storage I need a lot of shulker shells. And yeah, it does take a little bit for this to get rolling, but I AFK'd here overnight. I fell asleep and was sitting in this little thing, which I really don't even need. The shulkers don't really target you unless you fly up, and I figured out that the shulker breeding is actually so rapid that it's actually preventing Endermen from spawning in this area. That's why you can see there's no Endermen around, because they're all, see up in the top left, entities. That's including like the mine carts and like armor stand and some of the things in there, but that is at max, like at all times. So you can see how quickly they're getting spawned and getting killed off. Yeah. Because there's a crusher up there. That's a really neat piece of machinery. It's really just a whole bunch of areas that they can spawn at, but that they need to teleport away from. And they get pushed down into here, which has some snowmen that the little balls can't reach, so they fire out, they come back, they hit the shulker. That causes it to duplicate, and then the only other place that it can teleport aside from here is up here in the top, and then that's kind of a waiting area where they might also teleport to up here and get picked up by the mine carts and dumped into a crusher chamber. It's a pretty interesting and ingenious design. As you can see, it works pretty fast. It's not, of course, it's not like flying, the numbers aren't flying up, but it's, one every couple seconds. And, if you need a lot of shulkers, that's a good way of getting it done. I'll have to post the video link. Because, like I said, I think I AFK'd here overnight, and I got 3.5 shulker boxes of shulker shells. So, yeah. I have essentially all the shulker shells I need personally, and I might open up like a shop. And because I was thinking of if I do get a whole bunch of people on, I might create a shopping district, so people can go to like one sort of like localized area to trade, kind of like Hermitcraft. I am a fan of the hermits, and yeah, there's actually a mushroom biome at like the mushroom biome, pretty close to spawn. It's about 1,000 or so blocks north of spawn. And yeah, so that would be a decent place for a shopping district because you wouldn't have to worry about lighting it. You could, decorate however you like, and people could shop there safely without worrying about mob spawning and whatnot, in case somebody forgets to light up their build, like some people tend to do. I think that's going to be about it for this update. Next update is probably going to be when the perimeter is finished and the slime farm is finished, so I can sort of show that off. I do have a couple other farms that I'm going to put in there. I definitely need a creeper farm, because I have just been burning through firework rockets working on that trench. My shulker box here was full, and I burned all the way through it. And then I filled it up about halfway a couple of days ago, like maybe 3 days ago, and I'm already down to rockets just because of how often I have to fly around and clean up stuff in the bottom of the trench. Which fortunately, I was the first trench that I did, I was dumb and I was just using sand to clean up the water and lava pools, but I decided to go out and do a ender, or not an ender chest, an ocean monument run, and I got like about a stack and a quarter of sponges. I got really lucky, and in 2 of the ocean monuments I found 3 sponge rooms. So yeah, I only had to do 2 ocean monuments, and kill a few outer guardians, and that would be about it. But anyway, so me speaks good and brain good today, and I totally flubbed the outro of my recording. I didn't realize how badly I was jumbling my words near the end until I went into editing, so I'm just gonna reshoot that because, man, that was just word salad. Anyway, next video should be a shorter update, just the perimeter and the slime farm. The slime farm I'm probably going to decorate a bit. I might do the outside in like wool and carpet and make it look like a big old slime. I don't know yet. It shouldn't affect the rates just because of the scale that I'm working on. It should be still getting me thousands of slime balls per hour. So as long as it's not too bad, I will go ahead and do a decoration on that. And that should just be an off-schedule video because it should only be like, a quick 2 or 3 minute video. Anyway, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.